Welcome to the COPA, this is for American Fork and Draper Dance Company pre-audition parent meeting. Before I introduce myself and everybody else at the table, I want you to know that last night, this is like the week of Zoom meetings. So, and we have several locations and several academies. So there's several Zoom meetings. Last night, one of our meetings got bombed. But I just need you to know that we're really hoping that we've taken the right precautions so that this doesn't happen tonight. But there definitely was some inappropriate things said and done. So we're really praying that we've prepared ourselves so that we don't, taken care of it so we don't have that happen tonight. But I just wanted to warn you that it was nothing on our end, but very unfortunate circumstances. So there's that. I'm going to try and speak. We'll probably need to speak loud, you guys, just because there are classes at COPA right now, and the students are very lively and love COPA and love each other. And so that's what's happening right now. Okay, so let me start by introducing myself and the people at the table. My name is Susie Balser. I am one of the owners, and I am over everything dance. I'm the artistic director for dance. And before I go down the line here, I just want you to know, I love my job. I love what I get to do every day. That doesn't mean that my job isn't difficult, and it doesn't mean my job isn't hard. But I want you to honestly know how much I enjoy what I do. Now, part of that enjoyment is the women, mostly women, sometimes men, that I get to rub shoulders with and work with. And so I am really pleased to introduce the ladies who I'm going to introduce you to tonight. But beyond the people here that you'll meet, there is a full faculty of amazing men and women that get to work with our dancers each week and each year. And I love that. I love that so much. So we're really quite blessed. Hi, wrong room. Oh, thank you. I was like, somebody just poked their head in. Well, that somebody was my husband. I'm like, hon, you're in the other room. You're supposed to be doing choreography in the other room. Okay. Anyway, so I'm Susie. I'm the artistic director. This is Tyne.
Hello. Hi, guys.
There's a couple here. You made it. Did you find a parking spot?
Oh my gosh.
I know. We tried to wait a few minutes because we parked down the street too. Anyway, Tyne Crockett is one of two academy directors. So if I'm the artistic director, they are right underneath me, and I work for them is basically what happens. They tell me what to do. They give me the ideas. I just say, that sounds good. Let's do that. But Tyne and our other academy director is Amy Lohner, who unfortunately just like an hour ago was like, you guys, I am deathly ill. So say your prayers for Amy. Yeah. She's not feeling very well tonight, but she is sad to miss this. She is a blonde bottle of joy. Like everybody loves Miss Amy. She is a tough cookie, but she is just one of the most lovely people. She is awesome. So that is Amy Lohner and Tyne Crockett, our academy directors. Next is, gotta move this because our lighting is not really awesome. This is we have lots of Amy's. It says Amy Nickel.
Yeah, the AMY one.
This is the AMY. And this past, how many years has it been, Aim? 3?
2.
Well, with competitions, you've been kind of over competitions.
2.
Just 2. God bless Amy. Amy has been like what we consider like our competition director, which means everything around competition season, whether it's teams or, hold on, friends. Okay, teams or solos, duos, or trios, it's all Amy's brain, which we really appreciate that brain. Unfortunately, this next year, Amy's going to step back, and we will have a new person take over.
She's amazing. Don't worry.
She'll be here. Yes, she will be here shortly. She just finished teaching up in our Draper location, and she'll be here soon. This is Miss Jennifer Jenkins, and she is awesome sauce. So, but Amy's still going to work. Yeah, Amy will work with her just to make sure that we have the same systems moving forward. But Jen is also just so awesome. Okay, this is Angie. Angie Motsinger. She is, look at her wearing her sweatshirt. She's the
I know.
bomb.com. Angie is a mom in the program, but also we brought her on last year to help us with our dance gear and dance wear. So we're going to hear from Angie a little bit later, and she'll give us like the know-how and how that works and where that's going to happen for this next year. So that's the team, friends. Who we don't have here is all of our company directors. We don't require them to be at this meeting. And honestly, each year, there is some ebb and flow sometimes in our company directors, and if they're here or moving. And we have 3 moving this next year onto great things, like
Amazing
onto
things.
New York or onto a master's program. Anyway,
Yeah.
so we love them and support them. And those new directors are still being solidified. So I won't say who's coming and where they're going, like what company they're going to yet, but I will say like some pretty exciting women coming on, and possibly a dude coming on to the directing team, which we're really, really excited about.
Really strong team.
Yes, a really strong team. Like
Super exciting.
I told my almost 16-year-old today, one of them, and she was like, do I get to have class from her? And I was like, probably not, because you're too old, but maybe
there's
in
some
some way
choreo.
there'll be some choreo. Anyway,
Yeah,
she was thrilled. So we're really excited, but I'll wait till we're like all said and done to announce all those fun things. So anyway, okay. All right, friends. Okay, so COPA, I mean, COPA's its own beast, right? If you are brand new to us and don't know anything about us, COPA is there's an umbrella where we have lots of academies, is what we call them, for kids to train. They can train in just voice, they can train in just acting, they can train in just dance, or they can train in the trifecta: music, dance, and theater. And a lot of kids do multiple of those things. So, there's also pop. And that is in there, and people do pop as well as like
Pop music.
dance. So
Like
anyway,
current hits.
yeah, current music. Anyway, so that's what COPA is and who we are. We are, again, just the dance dance people here. So in the dance program, and that's all that we're going to talk about tonight, is just not just the dance program in general. We'll talk about just dance companies specifically. So but just so you know, like we do have like a level system for all the dance program. We start with like fundamentals, we call them, which was our babies, and those basic classes where they were building their basics. We have like a training program where they're expanding obviously to the next level. And then we have what we call the conservatory program, which is basically what our companies are in, a conservatory program, right? They're pushed a little bit harder. Okay. So what makes, when we decided to open a dance arm of COPA, it was never something that it was like, one day we're going to open a dance academy. It was just kind of something that seemed like it was the right progression. And because, as we all know, there's, just as many as there are LDS churches in Utah, there's just about as many dance studios, right? Which is a lot.
Maybe more.
Yeah, possibly more, right? And all those basement studios we don't even know about. So, the beauty of that is that we as Utahns really love and appreciate the arts, specifically dance. And so there's lots of places to train, and we're happy to be one of them. And we're not exactly like the one, down the street, but there are some similarities for sure in every dance program. But let me kind of give you the basics of how COPA is. So we believe in both an artistic and a competitive experience for dancers. Not that there's anything wrong with studios that do just plain artistic or are really heavy in the competition realm. I think they're really amazing, but I do find that there's value in both of it. So we kind of love to have a little bit of all the things. So the first half of our year really is artistic focused, and we're going to talk about how. I'll let Tyne talk about that in a minute. The second half of our year is more competition focused. Obviously, that's competition season. And we'll talk a little bit more, have Amy, one of the Amy's, talk about that tonight, the competition side. So dancers and company members will train in ballet, jazz, tap, Depending on their level, their age, we will also add in hip hop. Sometimes it's required and sometimes it's just an additional class they can take if they'd like to. We also will incorporate contemporary and improv. And then of course, we have like what we call floor gym, which is basically tumbling and acro for the kids to use those extra skills. And something we're going to add this next year for our oldest group, and this will make more sense in a minute when Tyne talks about our artistic half the year, is acting for dancers, because that's something we want them to be able to express in that way, not just with their bodies, but also with their heart and their face. Okay. As a company member, you will start in the summer. So it's a 1-year contract, and I'll talk more about that in a little bit. But you are required to take 2 weeks of dance technique camps. We divide you into groups, and it's about 3 hours a day. Is that right, Tyne? 3 hours a day at most for the all the way down to the littles. I think it's like an hour to an hour and a half a day. And there's 2 weeks of that. The 3rd week in the summer is what we call company camp, and that is where we come together. We bond as a group. You know exactly who is in your company specifically. You know who your director is. There's that bonding. You start taking class together, but the biggest thing is we do choreography. So once you look at the dates, make sure you get them in your calendar so that you don't miss that week of choreography, because that's a real big bummer for your students to have to catch up.
I'm just gonna say that date now.
Yeah, please.
So that is,
The company camp week,
yes.
right?
So that's July 31st through August 4th, as you guys are kind of looking at your summer schedules. That one's a big one. You guys want to be to that.
Okay. Awesome. I will say this, one of our summer camps, we did this for the first time last year, and we loved it so much we wanted to repeat the 2 dance technique weeks. One of them has like ballet and jazz and tap and hip hop, and the second week is what we call ballet boot camp. So it's just ballet the entire week, which is really awesome. And we bring in master teachers to teach those, and it's great. Okay, Tyne.
Okay.
You want to take it away?
I don't like that. I know. Sorry. Okay, so we have people here and here, so I'm gonna like do this.
Yeah.
Okay, so I love what we do at COPA. I love it so much. I love the production. So what we do here for the artistic side is we do a full-fledged production of a storybook, basically. And so if you could imagine, a ballet has a full story. We cast leads. We have, every group has a character that they portray, and we tell a whole story. And we do it in kind of a contemporary jazz style, basic style. And then we have a couple other genres that show up in the show too. But something that is so wonderful about that is these kids not only get to learn precision and the execution of competitions, but like what Susie was saying, they also get to learn that expression, and they also get to learn how to tell a story and how to portray a character through dance. So that is something that we highly focus on for the beginning of the year. So the way that Amy, who's not here, other Amy, this one, poor thing is sick right now. The way we split up the year is I'm over the production. So I direct that, and Susie and I cast that, and we work through the storytelling. Susie comes into every company, and she's a master teacher of the expression and acting for dancers. And it's incredible what they portray through that experience. And then we, after that experience is over in January, then we pass them off to Amy, and she takes care of the second half of the year, which is the recital and the competitions. So they really do get a well-balanced year. I love that for my own daughter, because she not only drills those competition numbers to learn that skill of unity and understanding those really important skills. But she also gets to express and become a character, and there's individuality that happens in that experience too. So I love that. I love the balance that my own daughter gets from that. So that's super fun. We announce that at company camp, and it's so exciting, and all the kids try to bribe me all summer to tell them what it is, and it is like locked away, and it's really fun. So we announce the production at company camp. We tell them what their groups are, and then they go to town. They just
what character they're going to be.
Exactly. Yeah. So during company camp, they choreograph their main, what they will do at company camp for the production is a combined scene. and their group number. So that's why it's really important for them to be at company count, because they will learn 2 full pieces during that week. So we love the production.
Say a couple of the ones we've done.
Yeah,
just so that they
Yes.
say no.
So we've done
We just did this last year.
Frozen.
Hmm.
My 2-year-old still does her choreo and sings the song all day. I'm like, stop singing.
Which is hilarious because on stage, she stood there and was like, I don't want to do this.
Well, during Frozen, she actually, it was the
Oh,
recital.
it was
She was like,
That's true. It was
so
a
anyways,
recital.
we got 1 show, so 1 out of 2 is good. So, we did Frozen, we've done Little Mermaid, the book You Are Special. We did that one. That was
Mhm.
beautiful. We did
Bookmaker's Gift.
Maker's Gift, which is a storybook. So we try to do a mix. We've done Lion King. We try to do a mix of stories, well-known stories, or not so well-known stories, and kind of like a Disney production as well. So
They're all children's books though. that
Yeah.
We choose.
yeah. So it's fun. The kids love it. I love where these kids take those productions. It's super fun. So along with that, I'm also gonna kind of go off of, so CDC, the top company here, they're usually cast as the leads in those productions, kind of the main leads there. And but then we also have had some other opportunities to cast like a young Simba from a younger company, or we've done
Young Elsa, young Anna.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or there's some talent shows in You Are Special that we got to cast kids from all across the company to come dance with the oldest group. And so it's really fun. There's a lot of opportunity in the production. We also are a top company, CDC, COPA Dance Company, they tour. So we do each year, we try to take them out there, and that's kind of a perk of that top company where they get to go and do workshops with industry professionals. We've done past tours that we've done, Disney World,
Yeah.
Universal, we've done.
LA.
We did a cruise, which was super fun. They got to perform on the cruise ship. And then,
Did you say Vegas?
oh yeah, Vegas, lots of fun things. The great thing about COPA is there are a lot of networks from our directors and the company directors that we bring in, the owners, and we've had incredible opportunities for the kids. So CDC kiddos will find out what their tour opportunity is after casting, but it's usually, we try to do a less expensive year, less than $1,000. And then the next year we'll do a grander tour, which will be between 12 and 2,000. So for those of you who are looking at that top company, start doing some mowing the lawn.
It's like babysitting,
Yes.
mowing lawns.
And we also
Fundraiser.
have some fundraiser opportunities. Hey, Jen.
Yes.
Come on in. So Amy's not here, so I can kind of go.
Or,
over-
Amy, Nicole, do you want to take?
Oh, this is what you're taking.
Yeah, I'm taking.
Well, I'm taking both. So
Okay.
I'm just gonna really quickly. So Jen is here. We introduced you while you were driving. So this is Jen. I just wanted them to be able to put a name with a face. So I'm gonna let Amy, Nicole talk about our second half of the year a little bit. That includes competitions.
Okay, so we do 2 competitions. Each company does 1 to 2 dances that can be talked about later, but they do 2 competitions. Okay, I'm gonna just tell you right now, mark your calendars. I know this is super hard, but competition season is anywhere from end of February till middle of May. So you don't have to block out every weekend, but just know that if you're gonna go on a trip, we will not schedule during Alpine School District spring break.
No.
But, and we try to work with the other companies, as well, but just so you know, I get this every year. Everyone's like, oh, I didn't know. I'm like, let me just tell you, competition. Actually, for my kid, it starts in January. So, but yeah, so just for a heads up. So we just want to really push that this year because we want your kids, if they're going to do, if they can't be at the competitions, they can't do the pieces. It's too hard. You can't if they can only be at one, they have to be at both competitions in order to make it work. It's just too hard on the directors. So we want your kids to have the best experience, and it is a really fun experience for them.
Can you tell them, Amy, about what time of year we know those dates?
Okay, that's a good question.
So that they can make their families.
So hopefully we will know by
November, right?
October. Yeah,
At the
October,
latest,
November
right?
at the latest. It's hard because we don't obviously run the competitions. So and we have a lot of companies in our COPA family to work around. So, but I'm already working on it, and I will try to, we'll make sure Jen's up and running and we got all those dates. So we will get those as fast as possible, but just
There
know,
she is.
competition is February to May. Just be patient with us and we will get you in there. So
Along with that though, I will say that, the COPA family is busy, meaning our weekends across the academy. So some kids do the musical theater academy and the dance academy. And so we actually only have so many weekends that are open for dance company or for dance competitions.
Mhm.
So we may be able to release a calendar of potential dates that we are the only option for us to plug in a competition
Yeah.
anyways. So that's something that we may be able to do this year.
Oh, and really quick, so
Let's
we're
get
just
to
gonna go over a couple little things about competitions. So I usually stress this, and Jen will stress that next year. Unfortunately, because we don't run the competitions, this gets really confusing for parents, but when we give you the dates, you need to block out Friday and Saturday. I will tell you, on most occasions, team dances are on Saturday, but that being said, I cannot
Not
tell
always.
you, and I will probably not give you those dates until a week before. Believe me, as soon
The
as we
times.
get them, yeah, well, the times, yeah, when you're gonna be there. So if you just block that weekend, no, that's hard. But if you just block that weekend, we will let you know. But every year I get parents that are like, oh, well, do you know yet? And I'm like, no, I don't run the competition. There's a lot that goes into a competition behind the scenes. So just know that they're frantically working on their side. And then as soon as we get it, then we will, because there's a lot of ironing out directors have to do once the schedule comes out. So that's why you don't get it earlier, because there's a lot of changes that happen. So, and then there's also Nexus convention in September that we will go to is also required. So, but we'll talk about that later. So.
Okay, awesome.
So just to
I don't know what
clarify,
master classes.
we
Here.
have, I guess we haven't talked about Saturdays yet, but we will have a potential schedule for you guys to look at those dates.
So quick overview, we have 2 concerts a year. The first one is in the winter, usually the end of January. That's our, what we call storybook, right? We talked about that. The second one is in spring. I don't want to say the month because sometimes it's April and sometimes it's May. Like this year it was April, but next year it's going to be in May. So, but just know that it's a spring and a winter concert, 2 concerts. The second one is more of a like traditional recital that incorporates the competition stuff, but then the whole spring semester is well, not whole because we only go to 2, but competitions time. So and then the one convention in September, and it is Nexus. It is something we've attended, I think, from the very beginning. So for years and years and years, we have a really great relationship with them.
Yeah.
They're very supportive of our group, of our company, and we love them. They have, it is, so for those of you who are like, convention, scary, like there are some really large conventions out there and they're awesome. We don't attend anything that we don't feel like our students aren't capable of going in and feeling comfortable. It's a smaller one, but still the teachers are awesome, really awesome. We do offer, it's not required, but there's other conventions if you want to do more that are bigger, you can absolutely add those to your plate if you want to. Same with competitions, if you're doing a solo, a duo, or a trio, and I'm going to let Amy talk more about that in a minute, but
I want to add
Yeah.
something. So the recital, you'll not only see the competition numbers that you had seen at those, but we also have additional choreography. So
Yeah.
the recital has new stuff as well.
awesome. Okay, time.
Well,
What? We're almost to Ange. Do you want to Ange? Ange, do you want to talk about gear? The good stuff, clothes.
I'll scoot you. Yeah. This is my COPA sweatshirt.
Okay, do you want me?
But unfortunately this year, I'm not selling my I'm not over this part anymore. So for those who don't know me, I'm Angie Motzinger. My daughter's been here 7 years, doing theater and dance. So from a mom, I just always like to say like how much I love it. And that this is our family and the experiences are incredible.
it is a thing.
And yeah, so I super love it. And I've already cried about it. It's fine. I won't get emotional.
I'll still be
And-
around.
yeah. This is my daughter Katie's super cute jacket. You can see Tyna's wearing hers also. COPA, this will stay. So if you've been with us, this is what you had last year that was required and will continue. So you can reuse it if it fits, or that's what will be ordered. And then there is super cute joggers. We love these. She loves
Yeah,
them.
those are so cute. I wear
All
mine.
the time. So I don't know how well you can see that on there. but
And
COPA
parents
down
can
the
order
leg.
these as well if you want.
Yeah.
Yes.
We can do that.
Yeah.
Those two will be staying the same. The tank tops will be new, so we'll let you know when that comes in. And then as far as required for dance classes, it's the black Leo, black leggings, and black shorts. So same also style this year.
And
So
the
you can
belly
wear
tights.
They need that, and then either pink or black
Mhm.
tights. So we'll have both those. Foot undies, did we say if we would have them available?
And we can have them available
They're not
and
anything
they're
required.
optional.
There's just some that are optional. So if you were with us last year, we had a store in here, possibly in this room, in the break room or a voice room, let you know when that comes out. And during camps, I set hours, probably the middle. I also work the front desk, so you'll see me Mondays at the front desk. Again, next year, if you need anything there, and I might be doing front desk during the summer, so it may be in the middle of camp weeks, but around like before and after your timing so that you can come into the store and get any of that required. And also hopefully by the parent meeting that's after casting. So you'll know after casting what's required exactly and have all that checklist. That time's really great at sending out. And then hopefully we can have that available that same night so you can come check it out. These, I will give a little warning on this. We did have a friend who ordered, still have her jacket with the tags on it. Accidentally, she's an older teen and she ordered a very small size on accident and it has her name and they don't take them back. So we will have try on that night so that you can try it on, know for sure your size, be really careful that you're hitting the adult or the child size. If anybody wants to buy a very small jacket with the name Emma on it. Your name is Emma. No, we can have that removed and pay, like she'll
Yeah.
sell it, for less because she had it and is willing to sell it. And then we can have the name changed out and do that. So
And we use these for not only like when we go to competitions or conventions, but we also use them in the concerts as well. So.
Yeah. So
openers
these
and-
become costumes that are part of, and same with the
Take care
leggings,
of them.
we've used the
Yeah.
black leggings, so that's why they're required for dance classes. So that they look, which they can talk about also in dance classes, if that's the same this year, there's 2 ballet that they get to wear their own Leo. So they can wear a colorful Leo, and you'll know which class that they get to choose that and which one is required to all be in the black and streamlined together.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll have more info on those class hours or
Well,
store hours, sorry about that.
Question. So last year, Angie, you had some hours in American Fork that you did the store, and then you had a kind of a satellite draper as well. Will you do
Yes,
that
yeah.
as well?
So there is a store up there that's stocked also, so we can check if we had stock. At either
Awesome.
day.
How do we fix that?
Oh, was that a question?
Yeah, that's a question.
Okay,
Oh, what-
Sorry, the
Yeah.
question was if your lettering is peeling off the jacket, is there tips on fixing that?
there is super strict instructions that come with this that say, do not wash it. Do not throw it. in the-
Do not
I know
dry
that's
it for
you can
sure.
Wash it and hang it, yeah. Do not put it, the heat will make that start to peel. I've only had one unless somebody maybe else happened to do that and she took it in right away
And
and
they just-
fixed it immediately. So she did fix it right away, our vendor that we use. But just try to remember not to throw it. I know kids do their own sometimes and throw it in there.
I was gonna say,
But
do we
can't
know
get
if like
fixed.
existing company members who might be having some healing, can we get that? Can we send them in and have her
please
fix that?
email me at Angie@utahcopa.com and I will arrange to get that and get it. taken
Okay,
care
great.
of.
So if
We can
you,
get that
did you guys hear that? I'm not sure. If you do have an issue, you do have a jacket, you have an issue with peeling of the name or maybe the COPA sign on back, just email Angie, ANGIE @Utah COPA and let her know and she'll help you.
Okay,
there.
also with summer coming up, just because my car gets full of dance clothes and regular clothes, just do not leave them in the car in the heat because they will do the same thing.
Right, right.
So besides the dryer.
Yeah. Speaking of dance clothes, we do say this to you in the parent meeting. I say it to the students at the very beginning of the year, but I'm gonna just say it again. Because I love you and I know you guys are paying money for these items. Please, please, please put your child's name in the items. It makes me so sad when I see like a black Leo that I'm putting in the lost and found and I'm like, there's no name. That really is a bummer because, not that they're extremely expensive, but it all adds up. So in every shoe, in every tank top, whatever you buy, just know that there's like hundreds of other kids with the same Leo,
Yeah.
same shoes, you know what I mean? So
The other
please,
academies wear them as
please
well.
put your child's name in literally everything you want to come back home to. Because a lot of times if I find the kid, I will, if I have their number, I will text them or we put it at the front desk and the front desk like holds it. So it's not just going to go to the DI out of, out of the lost and found. Anyway, so that's my
I
plug.
want to add, so summer, I get this question every single year. We do have required dance shoes for ballet and tap. Here's my suggestion to you guys. If you're gonna buy our tap shoes, that we require are a little more expensive. They're the leather ones. I suggest buying those a little bit bigger, because when you guys take summer camps, you're gonna want your shoes. This is the question I get every time. And if you buy the size now, then by the end of the year, when they need them for concert, parents are buying another one. So,
I have done that, and I've actually had my daughter wear two pairs of socks. I was like, those tap shoes are too big. Well, we're just gonna wear two pairs of socks for the entire year, just
Yeah.
because
you don't want to be buying new ones. And so when it comes to summer camps, we will send out the required gear. And then we also have glass slipper over here in American Fork. They have our name. You can just say I'm a COPA dancer and they'll show you exactly what shoes
You
and
need.
you get a
Yeah,
discount.
discount.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I just suggest buying a little bit bigger, because the tap and the tap shoes will be used in the spring concert of next
Yeah.
year. So just plan accordingly.
Hey,
And don't go out and buy shoes yet. Like, don't buy them for auditions or anything. Once you're cast, then we'll let you know you need to buy.
yeah, awesome. We can talk about auditions in a few minutes. We're just gonna go into a little bit more detail of what we offer as far as companies. Years ago, we tried to separate all of Draper and American Fork, but we've decided that it was better to combine. And it's worked out really well. So there is going to be still CDC, which is our top COPA dance company. I had to think about that for a second. Well, you guys, under the COPA umbrella, there's CDC, CAC, CPC, which they all have great names, but sometimes my brain goes, okay, so CDC is our COPA dance company. They're the oldest. Then we go into our senior company, we go into teens, we go into juniors, petites, then minis, and then pre's. Thank you. Wow. All of these will be combined as far as like location. They'll be just one. The biggest change this year is there'll be just one junior company. Last year, they were split into two. There'll be just one junior company. The only exception is our little kiddos, like our 4 to 7 year olds. We will split and have one at each location this next year, which we love and are excited about. If you look on the website, you'll see because sometimes classes are held in Draper and sometimes they're held in American Fork, no matter, what company you're on. So you want to see if I'm a Draper based family and my kid makes junior or teen, what days am I looking that I'm traveling here, and what days are American Fork people potentially traveling to Draper?
And carpools are always up.
Carpool is awesome. We've been traveling, the American Fork people have been traveling to Draper for 2 years. Draper has been coming to American Fork. A handful of Draper kids have been coming to American Fork this last year. It hasn't been as bad as I thought it was going to be as a parent. And I am a parent in that situation. I don't mind it. And there's lots of help, parents that are willing to carpool, which is really, really nice. Honestly, that's how we survive. So there is that help out there, and we want to make it accessible and doable. When we first started going to Draper, it's because we were busting out of the AF building and we needed more space, and Draper still had that to spare. They have the biggest studio we own. It's huge. So we do go to Draper for a lot of things, just because we can house more dancers.
Especially the production for combined scenes. There's a huge room, and when there's 100 dancers, we need that space.
Yeah, we need that space. So our initial thoughts were that it would only be a year or two until we take over the AF location. I'm sure you guys, those of you who are aware, the actual building we're in, it's split between two businesses. Caleb Chapman is towards the road, and then COPA's on the other side. As of this coming August, we will inhabit the entire building. So Caleb is moving out onto bigger and better places, and we will take the entire building, which is awesome. That doesn't mean we have enough room to move everything out of Draper, and Tyne has really loved being in Draper. The space alone, and then it's just been really great. It's funny having our kids go out of their home base location. They they eat dinner together. There's just, it's actually creating a bond, which is kind of fun. So,
And for the production, we can do, my favorite thing is we can do full rehearsals with full set pieces.
because we can house the set
Yeah.
pieces in Draper.
Yeah.
We can't house them here. So anyway, we're excited to take over Caleb's half of the building. But just so you guys know, we will stay on the COPA side for studios. The musical theater and acting and pop, I think they'll take more of the studio space over there. So exciting news. Okay, so those are our companies. Let's see, I want to make sure. Do you want to talk about competitions and then what's new this year?
I'll do it.
Comps?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so this is new and exciting. So, last year we had 4 opportunities for additional competition pieces. If kids wanted to compete and just do more choreography in different genres. So we had 2 ballet pieces and 2 jazz pieces that they could audition for and be a part of. And it was a whole year of working with just those pieces and really honing in on the technique and it was awesome. My own daughter did them and she improved a ton. Those were not weekly classes. We kind of sprinkled in rehearsals here and there, and I will tell you, it's a little stressful. Going up to competition season, we thought we would have enough time, and it was just like, we really want to give these kids an opportunity to just reach the potential of the pieces. So we actually added 2 different levels
Mhm.
of
Tap and hip hop.
additional, well, we have our jazz ones too. I guess I'm starting there. So we have a jazz piece that can be opted into or auditioned for our teen company. And then our senior and CDC company will also have an additional competition number that you can audition for to be a part of. And those are set classes weekly. So it's an extra technique class, and then they work on choreography. And the kiddos who opt into this, it's really crazy to see their technical improvements. If you're wanting a year of like really pushing some technique and working on musicality and things, those are great opportunities. And then now, oh, what's your question?
Like, I have a question. When we filled out the form to submit for audition,
Yeah.
it only let us pick
One.
one option
Oh, I
of
need to
those.
fix that.
Chapter 12. So
Okay,
I just wanted
that's
to
okay.
clarify, like, can they opt into all of them?
Yes, and I'll go fix that on there, but they absolutely can opt into all of them. And we were gonna do that audition at auditions next week. What we decided to do, well, we do have to talk about that. But
That's to be
because
determined.
for the jazz piece, I think we'll audition that at auditions. But we are also now, our tap and our hip hop classes are now competing. Those are now gonna be competition numbers. That audition will be the first week of class, if that makes sense. So I'll fix that on there. But if we'll clarify at auditions, if they do wanna audition for that extra competition experience, then they can. So that's one thing that I love as a mom too, is we compete 2 dances at 2 competitions. So it doesn't feel like too much, but if the kids wanna do more, they can. So I really like that there's some options.
Can we clarify that? Just because last year there was a hip hop and a tap and it was optional.
Mhm.
Is this, if you're in the hip hop class, you will be competing?
You will sign an
Yes.
I
extra,
just wanna
you'll
make
sign an
sure.
extra
Okay, yes.
contract.
Perfect, okay. And if you're in the tap
There's
class,
not
you
like
will be
another class
competing.
option
Okay.
for hip hop or stuff. It's just.
Right.
Right,
Okay.
yeah.
So if they join those classes, they
They gotta
will
stick
have
with
to compete
Just
as
so we
well.
know, right, okay.
One of the reasons we did that was because that gives that competition number consistent time to practice. And that was one of the things that when we tried this new format this last year, that was one of the things that we ran into that was a bit of a snag. Was that we needed more consistent time. And so, and when we go to these competitions, it's like, you know what? We have some really great tappers and we have amazing tap teachers. Miss Colleen is coming back. I'm so excited. Love Miss Colleen. And I was just,
Really?
I was just
That's
texting her today about this idea of a competition pieces and she was like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. That sounds like so much fun. So,
She's
anyway,
crazy. Amazing.
we just thought this was a great fit.
She
So if they want to join the classes, they just need to compete, which will keep things as cheap as possible as far as like costumes and extra registration, just so that they can make it possible. But We should be out there. COPA should be showing more skill, the
Yeah.
more skill set that we
Kids are
have.
getting good.
Yeah.
And those will
Um,
be the same competitions that you go for
With a team.
your team.
Yeah.
So it won't be an additional
Right.
weekend. You'll be doing it with those 2 weekends.
You're already there.
You're already there. Yep.
I can not say, but it's
That
it's a lot and it's awesome, but
But that is one thing that I love about COPA dance is how we've structured if you're not interested in all that extra stuff, you don't have to do it.
yeah.
So you have options. I know we're talking a lot about all these extra things. Just think through how much you're wanting to do, but we are trying to be efficient. If we're already going to competition, the kids can just have a couple more costumes, a couple more pieces of choreo. They're already sitting there. So
Did you specify that it's just what levels? Those
yeah, so
towards?
those extra pieces start at teen company.
Teen,
company and up.
seniors and CDC. So
Yes.
just our older
Yes.
half.
Yep. Okay. Let me go on to we kind of talked through these. For the production, I should have said this just earlier. We are still trying to decide if we're gonna do double casting. So those of you who are new, what we originally had done was just like Ariel for Little Mermaid. We just had one Ariel. And it was so awesome. We were able to really work with her. She had 45 minutes of choreography, you guys, so much. She was on stage the whole time. And we thought, as a school, we want to open up those opportunities to more kiddos to have those experiences. So we started doing double casting, cast A and B this year. And it was awesome. So there may be a little bit of a different format, like there may be some roles that we double cast and some roles that we don't. And this does apply to kind of all ages, because if we need to cast any little kiddos for anything,
We'll double.
we try to give more opportunities for those kids. So as parents, as you're hearing this, if you can kind of see, we have our program and we believe in it. And we know that as your kids walk through the program, they're going to succeed and you're going to see some incredible growth. We also want to offer a lot of additional opportunities here if you do want to invest a little bit more so in your child and their education here. So we do want to have the program, we believe in it, but these extra things, as your kids come home and they're so excited about it, we want you to just kind of have all the information up front before you're like, what do you want and what am I signing up for? Right. So if your child is cast in, so an example is Baby Simba or Teen Simba, we pulled those from younger companies. You will be required to pay an extra costume fee, but that's it.
And we do audition
but
those, so everybody,
an extra rehearsals, yeah.
yeah.
So we want to sprinkle opportunities as much as we can for these kiddos. All right.
Aim, did we get through all of your comp stuff? You want to do more?
Oh, yeah, we didn't even talk about solo.
Yeah,
dancers.
yeah.
Do you need ballet boot camp or anything?
We kind of talked about
Okay.
that. I think we're okay.
Okay.
Well, do we have
Oh,
any
yeah.
questions?
Yeah,
Like,
we
do you
haven't
guys
done
have
them.
questions?
Yeah.
You want to pause?
Not
It's-
yet.
I know
It's a lot.
we're
It's a
just
lot
like-
at one time.
So many.
That's why it's recorded.
Soaking it in. And we do, like, you guys will be getting monthly newsletters and
With information.
we're really clear on
Oh, let's
Event
talk
course.
about emails.
There's not.
Check your emails. If you have a COPA email, make sure it's right in your studio director. I'm just pushing that. And then also,
meaning your account.
oh, I'm sorry.
Needs to have the correct email.
Yes, so whatever email you want, and you can actually put in more than one. So if you have a child that's older or is just responsible or a spouse, you want it. And then you need to make sure that when these emails go out, you're checking to make sure once you move it from your junk to your inbox, it shouldn't go to your junk again. But we do a lot. There's no way. I'm just telling you right now, with all the emails I do, there is no way for me to text you. I know I have a lot of friends and you're lucky, but I can't answer all the questions. So we have to, if we just check our emails, I try to be super thorough. Jen will be super thorough. And so we just want to make sure that, and all the companies do. We are trying to streamline it for competitions. Okay, for that, there's a super fun extra opportunity.
Another one.
This is the best one. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry, I'm a competition director or manager. So, okay, so solo duo trios, why you want to do them? One, okay.
First, they're not required.
Oh, yes, this
This
is
is not required.
super optional. Even though I love it. but it's super optional. And all I will say is whatever level your child is at, it has been so fun this year to see all the different, we had some returning, we had some new. Every year that's the case, because it's not for everyone, but the growth that your child will do. So when you do sign up for a solo, duo, trio, just so you know what that means, is literally what it sounds like. Your kid's either going to be by themselves on the stage, and they can do any style of dance. They could do anything. And so you will contact a choreographer. When we have our parent meeting, we'll have a list of people that are I shouldn't say
That we
volunteer,
suggest.
that we suggest. It's not a volunteer. You have to pay them. So they each have their own pricing. So we'll get more into that in the next meeting when people, and I'll have a form for you to fill out if you're interested in that. But the reason you want to do it, or want to look into it at least, is similar to the jazz and the tap, the extra competition pieces you do, it's the training. So it is private lessons with your choreographer / cleaner. So when you go to learn, some people will only do the choreography and then someone else will clean it, and some people do both. So when you clean it, that's just literally doing it once a week, once every 2 weeks, whatever you can afford and whatever your child wants to do. But it really improves their skills a lot. It also helps them understand how to do hard things. So being on the stage, my child was an MDT for lots of years, and I was actually super surprised that when she got on stage, she was really nervous. And I was like, I don't understand. You've been on stage forever, but being by yourself is a little different than being with other people. And it is amazing. It's not about perfection. It's about when you fall, you get up. When you didn't do your best solo, the next time you have another opportunity to do it. I will also be giving you some options. So you can I will probably give you five options besides the 2 that you can do. I'm not saying do that. I'm just saying that's an option. So
Of competitions.
of more competitions you can go to, because if you pay a lot of money for your solo, sometimes you want to get it on the stage a few more times. And if you don't, 2 is fine as well.
So
you also can do a duo or a trio, which is also fun, and do it with your friends. Again, all of that is on your own as far as getting together with people, but we will be there to ask questions, bounce things off of, and then we will also register you and all that for the competition. Anything else I need to say about that?
So, again, that's in our optional pile, which we're seeing
Yes,
lots of
there is a lot of
and
options.
we talk about these a lot now because we want the parents to hear this first, not the kids, because the kids are going to want to do all of them.
Yeah.
So you guys, the kids are gonna be like, Mom, I want to do this. Stella came home. She's like, okay, I want to do solo, a duo, a trio.
Okay, from a mother that did everything this year, I'll just tell you, you can pick and choose, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Your kid will not be behind if they choose to do one optional thing or no optional things, but you will progress at a different rate if you do some of those, but you see what your budget and what your ability is.
Well, and I'll say this, as the academy director and watching these kiddos grow up in the program, we try to do feedback sessions with the kiddos, and that's kind of a parent student initiated thing. If you guys want to have some feedback as to like, okay, what are the things I need to improve on? What are the things she needs to work on at home? Susie and I and Amy, who's not
the other Amy,
we do private, we could even do like 30-minute sessions to kind of give you some feedback. Sometimes some of the feedback is, hey, I actually think a solo would really benefit you, because you would get a whole year of
Private.
You kind of put it in order and say, I need to work on my pirouettes, I need to work on this leap and this leap, and you put them in those pieces, and you have like eyes on that student the whole time. And that's where we've seen some kiddos who maybe needed a little extra step.
Well, and it's nice
They
because,
jump into those.
I mean, private lessons are great, and they can be incredibly beneficial. Thank you. But when you add a private with the dangling of the carrot of, you have to perform, there's a little more pressure for that student to be like, I've got to focus. I've got to work on my choreography so I remember it next time I come to that private, instead of going, I don't remember what you did. You know what I mean? There is that added pressure and responsibility, which it's huge. So
and the kids get much more self-motivated. That's what I have found with my own daughter.
it's pressure in a good way.
What we see is it's training your brain to pick up choreography and to pick up changes and to pick up steps a little bit quicker, because you're doing it every week. You know, some choreographers change their stuff every week, most don't. But, you know, sometimes those kids have to be a little bit challenged, or maybe they learn a new skill and they want to put it in. And so it does help develop them so that when they're going into their group classes, their directors like it because they're picking it up quicker.
Mhm.
The other thing I would say about solo, duo, trio, just competitions is you want to, it's okay if your kid doesn't want to do this track, like that's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
It's not for everyone. But I will say there will be a date that when we give it to you, it has to be final. So if your child decides they do not want to do a competition, but they've already said they're going to, and I have already registered them, that will be money that you lose. So we just want to make sure that you know what you're getting into, and it is a really great thing.
Let me just kind of just piggyback on that really quickly. I know a lot of times people in the dance world, that are maybe new to competitions or, aren't as fond of them because let's be honest, like Dance Moms is popular for a reason, like it's drama. And the dance, the competitive dance world definitely has that reputation. I'm not saying it's not like that. I think it absolutely can be like that. I was actually just talking to another director today, about this very thing. Because people think competition and they get very like, sometimes walls go up and they're like, I don't want to do that. I don't like that. And it's not for everyone, but I will say this, if the rest of COPA sounds like it's a good fit for you and you're just not sure about the competition or you don't love competitions, I will say, the way that COPA does competitions is actually really fun. It's probably one of my favorite things that we do besides our storybook, because the camaraderie and the support and love that the dancers give each other is kind of outstanding.
And as a family, because the other teams, even though they're supposed to be practicing, they want to come watch the other COPA kids do. They want to watch junior company. They
Yes,
wanna
it's
watch-
kind of this tradition
It's so fun.
we've unintentionally created this loving culture. And so,
And Susie will even say, we don't care about the trophy.
yeah,
Oh,
I was
no,
gonna say-
we don't care.
I don't care.
Yeah.
In fact, every year I'm like, what do I do with Ollie? Like, where do I put them? Where do I put these trophies? I don't want to get rid of them because the students, like they do have pride in them. But as a student owner, I'm like, am I a brat? I hope you don't feel like I'm not being very kind or being insensitive. I just don't care. I care about the experience.
It's the journey.
I care
not
about the
the
journey.
destination. Yeah.
And I care, and with along with that experience is also the friendships and the love and you can do hard things, or you know what? Maybe you went out there, like I've seen girls come off the stage in tears and it just swarms of girls around her, loving her, giving her.
Well,
what's
and
needed,
that's the other
awesome.
thing as parents, we try to really make sure that we can support them as well. Because on the COPA side, as far as I did the last 2 years, I mean, I've had multiple talks. It doesn't matter how old they are. Oh, I got 3rd place. Oh, I got 2nd place. Guess what? Someone has to. And guess what? It doesn't matter. That is not your value. The value is, did you do a good job? Did you feel good about your solo? Did you mess up and you kept going? You didn't run off the stage? Like those are all hard things. And so helping them understand that it's not about the price. Yes, we all like to achieve things and that's all good. But the main thing is doing hard things is hard. And we need to reward and celebrate their successes, no matter what that score is. And so
And
that's
success
really
is not always in a trophy.
Yeah.
It just is not. We're old ladies and we all can say that, right? Like we know that success is not in a trophy,
But
but
we do it because the incredible value of the journey. and
Absolutely.
process is
yes.
just to watch these kids work hard. It's
Can we do one thing about,
Yeah.
because we talked about Nexus. So just really quick, I just want to explain convention because you'll have it on video. You can rewatch it. Convention is when we go to Nexus. It is a very super fun convention, low key.
One day.
It's 1 day, it's 5 hours. Only the littles go a little bit less, but you need to know it's 5 hours long. That seems a little daunting to some kids. So we want to prep them, we will support them, but they can do it. And it's awesome. And they'll have a jazz class and a jazz and a ballet and a fusion and an
Funk
MPT
and a hip hop.
all these different,
Yeah.
they get to take from choreographers and they may or may not pick up the choreo really fast. They may or may not remember it. It's all okay. Go have fun. It's a really great learning
a good
experience.
bonding day.
Competition is where you go and you perform and then you're scored. So just so you understand the difference between convention and competition.
Yeah.
So we do both in our program, but again, we also pick competitions that are very vast and we're right there. We're good. We're ready. It's not going to be overwhelming in the fact that it's a super cutthroat dance mom.
Yeah, environment.
Environment.
Yes.
We don't
Yeah.
allow that environment. Actually, that's in their contract. We don't allow
no drama.
the unkind, competitive, pushing people down environment at COPA. That's means for a meeting with us. Anyways,
Meeting about- I probably should have said that initially, and I apologize, but some of our goals at COPA is obviously we want to train your kids to dance well, right? We want to give them good, solid training so they can dance for many, many years. But even more importantly than that, we want to create an environment that is safe, that is loving, that is fun, and that has some values, and not just values in our technique and who we are as people, but also like who we're representing ourselves, how we represent ourselves. So that's really important to us. And I just don't, I mean, there's drama, like we can find drama anywhere in life. And
Well, there's a lot of girls. It's not that, but it's a family. Everyone.
so
thinks
we
a
just
lot.
really try to, just so you know, like that's one thing we cultivate in our dancers, to try to teach them throughout the year, that we celebrate our successes. We love those who are struggling, and we are a team, and that we can get through and can do hard things. So I love that about dance. Okay, I know we're getting close to our time, you guys. I'm going to kind of go quickly here. We do have, like we said, we do have a calendar. You'll be invited as a company parent, you'll be invited to that calendar. We suggest that you, however you want to do it, no matter what kind of calendar you use, that you get that information into your personal calendars, so that you know exactly what to expect when things are. Because we put literally just about everything in that calendar.
And the times are usually updated to be.
It's live for us and for you. So if we make a change, you'll just automatically change for you and update for you. We do, so we've talked a lot about most of this stuff.
I feel like it would be beneficial to kind of chat through, okay, so these are the extra things we really want the parents to know, because the kids are gonna be like, oh, we just want you guys to have information first. The general, like the way we run our program, I thought it might be helpful to kind of explain how many hours each group takes.
Sure.
So
I can share that. Give me a second and I will pull that up, and I will
that's
share
on
in
the
this
website,
It is on the
too.
website. And that's one of the things I answered here. I had some questions. I was like, I can't answer that very well, but the website can answer it. Let me just give me 1 second, you guys, and I'll pull that up and
So-
I will share really quickly.
and I will just kind of say it while she's doing that. So
What
our
am I
three
doing?
companies, Utah COPA.
What am I? What's this called? Web. Oh, I guess I could go to,
Go to Utah COPA.
see, this is how I work for time.
No, I'm just the millennial voice.
So it's so true.
Push that button. Okay, so pre-companies do 4 hours.
You guys, I'm
a
sorry.
week.
It is so true. Hold on.
Pre-companies do 4 hours a week. Our mini co does 5.75. Mini co is like,
Okay, I'm gonna share now.
say the ages of mini co. We didn't have a mini co this year. We didn't run this company, but it looks like there's a possibility to run it this, just depending on where ages ebb and flow. Mini co is gonna be like 7 to 9 possibly. Yeah. Petite co is gonna be like 8 to 11-ish.
Where was that? Sorry, pause. Where was that more? Remember you were talking about the more? Is it on the desktop? Remember how we were talking about like sharing? Just, I think things have been fine.
Advanced. This is
a
what
millennial.
this-
Tyne, can you help me?
Well, okay,
Just do desktop.
for those of you who are late, we had a company meeting yesterday that got trolled with some inappropriate things. So we're
So I'm like,
trying to like
If
block.
I share my desktop, because that's one of the things, I think we're okay.
I think it's fine.
Okay.
So, our Petite Co is 7.75 hours. They range, again, dance is not as set as our MDT program, which our MDT program is very much like grades go into certain companies. Dance is about skill level. So, Petite Co is gonna be like the 8 to 10 or 11. Junior Co is actually similar ages, maybe a little older.
And this is what I was saying to some of those moms that
10
were
to
asking. You can see, oops, sorry.
There you go. There she goes.
Well, I'm struggling. Just be quiet. Okay, you can see the day and where it's at, Monday in AF, Tuesday in AF. And then like where, there's an option if it's an AF or Draper, and you can see what the class is and the length of time.
So junior co is 9 hours a week. Junior co is anywhere from like 10 to 12. It's probably an average age. Teen, 10.25 hours a week, some in AF, some in Draper. They're, again, the ages range from 10 to 14 on that one.
Actually,
Maybe.
10 to 16.
Oh, okay.
10?
Senior company, I think Stella was our youngest this year.
12,
12. Thank you.
12 to like 15.
Yeah. That's 10.75 hours a week, and then CDC is 14 hours a week, and they start around 14. So that's the age ranges. You can go online, if you go to Utah COPA, click on companies and then dance, you'll see the schedule. And you can kind of get an idea of what the weekly classes look like. We try to have ballet. Every company has at least one ballet class, at least one jazz, and then at least one choreography session. And then as it goes up, then we just multiply those technique classes. CDC and seniors do have 2 choreography hours per week. So you can just kind of go and look at that sometime. I know we are throwing so much information out at you guys, but
While we're on this sheet that we're, I was like, do you want to turn that around so they can see? This sheet that we're looking at,
the schedule.
I talked briefly about this earlier, but you do have a year-long contract as a company member. It doesn't matter if it's in musical theater, pop, dance, everybody has a year-long contract. And we divide your payments by those 12 months so that you know exactly what you're paying each month. Then we have a separate fees that happens also 12 months or 12 times. And so that you can, as a parent, know, okay, here's my tuition, here's my fees, that is the same. The only time that you would have extra on top of that, those 2, would be if you do an additional competition number or solo, duo, or trio, something like that. I just lied, because the other additional would be tour. If you're a tour, if you're in CDC and your kid could tour, that will also be separate.
Those also aren't on payment calendars. So anything additional, we try to get paid by
The time it
October,
happens.
November.
Yeah.
So if you do opt into these additional competition numbers, we segment it into like 3 or 4 payments, and then you're done paying. We try to not have December be a payment, because that's no fun. We're like, Merry Christmas. Yeah, there's no additional fees that will pop up throughout the year. You
do have your beginning of the years, like if you
Yeah,
need
120.
Leo's costumes is in your fees. Yes. So the only things that aren't in your fees would be any shoes you need to buy, any Leo or ballet tights,
Beginning of the year.
beginning of the year stuff. If you don't own the pink jacket yet, or your child has grown out of there, so you need to do those types of things at the beginning of the year. But besides that, and registration, besides that, everything else is lumped into these. That's why we try to go through and make sure we know how many costumes are CDC going to use? What are we going to pay for each of those costs? Like, we try to do that work so that you as parents can plan on that payment being the same. And it's consistent for your family budgeting. Because if it's not, then that's
So if you don't
hard.
opt into anything new, all you have to think about, or anything additional, all you have to think about is like, you got to get the classwear and the registration fee at the beginning of the year, and then everything else is consistent throughout the 12 months.
so as you look at this sheet right
And that
here,
covers summer camps, that
Yes.
covers everything.
everything.
Yeah.
As you look at this sheet right here, you'll see your tuitions right here on the right-hand side. And then if you scroll all the way down, you will see what everyone's fees are for the month, each month, excuse me. You'll add those 2 numbers together. Here's the monthly fees for each company.
So tuition, and then down here. Nope.
I'm going to tell you right now, as you look at this, there is a progression, obviously, to the tuition and to the fees, except for senior company. And that's because senior company is not required to take tap or hip hop. And they don't have as many costumes as CDC. So teen is required. And so that's why you see a difference there. So we try to give those older kids I just went really large, not sure how. Those older kids, maybe where school is a little bit more intense, and they maybe don't want to take, those extra classes on Wednesday night. They need to maybe that's their homework night, or that's a youth night. If they're involved in some church things, then they can.
We created more optional things.
Yeah.
So along with that, so your kids are gonna have their weekly classes. We follow the Alpine School District calendar, so anytime Alpine School District is out of class, then we're out of class. If there's a Monday holiday, we don't schedule things on the Friday before
We do consider the Canyons and Jordan, which
for Draper.
for Draper, and just try to make sure that we're not, we try to offset it just so that we're not all AF or all Alpine, just so that our Draper families can also, you know,
Enjoy spring break.
yes,
Okay, so you have your weekly classes that is consistent throughout the year. And then we have one Saturday a month that you come, and that is for extra choreography time. We try to say second Saturday of the month, but because of holidays and Monday holidays and things like that, we have kind of had to move it around. Those dates are set and you can see them on this same company tab. You can go see our
Scroll
dance
down.
company Saturday extra rehearsals right here. So you can plan ahead on those. The other thing that we do is a competition preview. So this is, we are doing this a little bit differently. This year, for those of you who are returning, we used to do 2 weekend.
Fridays.
Yeah, and now we're doing one in class. The
Oh,
first
nice.
competition preview is in class, and Susie and I and Amy will just go around and give feedback to their competition pieces. The second one, we bring in an industry professional and they give adjudication, they adjudicate the numbers.
Just like a practice before they go
Yeah.
on stage for reals.
So that's been really awesome for those kids to have that opportunity. And anything else here?
I
That's
think
kind of
that's,
it.
I think that's it. Do you want to
CDC
talk?
tour? I think we'll talk more about it after casting. But those of you who are interested in I mean, we'll give specific details
Yes.
after casting of what tour we're going on. But we are going to go on a tour this year. We will have the information once we get it.
We're still waiting for on some pricing so that you
Yes.
guys can have a better plan.
And travel pricing is
A
hard
little
to
bit,
be predictable right
Yeah.
now. So Anyways.
really quickly, what to expect on auditions.
Yeah.
They can really wear whatever you want. They will do, ballet. Yes, thank you. We'll do some ballet and we'll do some jazz. We will not do any tap or hip hop at this, audition. So they need to, if they have specific shoes, there will be no point. Do you want to do point at the older? I don't think we've done point in the past. Just a ballet shoe and then, bare feet. A lot of kids just wear bare feet, but. they
don't
can
go
wear-
out and buy shoes for these.
Yeah, I would just do bare feet and.
Bare feet is great, or foot undies is good on our floors too.
Yeah.
So basically, we have a dress code here of no midriffs showing, so please arrive just in COPA dress code. They can wear whatever they want. We just ask that you cover your midriff. And
I would also ask that they wear something tight, like don't come in like a ginormous
Yes.
t-shirt or sweatshirt. If we can't see your body, like I can't see your body.
yes, and I also want to say, I would like to up the expectation a little bit of auditions. We do have some kiddos showing up, just kind of hair in their face, and I would like to push all the kids to present themselves a little bit more professionally. That doesn't mean they have to show up like full stage makeup, but I do suggest the kiddos who are ready and prepared, their hair is back. If they choose to wear, you know, like a little more of like a colorful or something that feels a
Sure.
little more costumey, those kiddos, I will just say, they perform a little more at the audition. They just have a little more confidence. So I think it's good, not only because COPA, like we want to kind of up the professionalism here and help the kids know that we expect them to just come prepared mentally and physically. But if you're going to go to an audition out in the valley or wherever, we want to help them practice that. So show up prepared, ready to go. Make sure that you guys have submitted your audition form, and it's on the website. It's just a submission form. And then show up ready to go. We'll give the kiddos a number. They come in and they learn all the combos the day of, and then we give them 30 minutes to review, ask questions, practice. And then we just go right into it. So it's not open to parents, but we'll be in this Studio One if you want to park in your cars and kind of.
There's only 2 spots you can actually see. The sun is exactly
It
right.
is, yeah.
But the black box will be a holding room and you're welcome to stay in there as long as you'd like.
So once you come in, you'll go into the black box. We'll have signs. You'll come in here. You can hang out with your kiddo. We do want the kids to be warm before they come into the actual audition. So come in during the sign-in time, the check-in period. There's
Get your
about a
number,
30
start warming up.
minute- Yeah, there's a 30-minute check-in period, and that's where they get their number, warm up, and then we pull them into the rooms. They learn the 3 combos. They'll learn they'll do a warm up. They'll learn 2 across the floor. They'll both be a jazz-based combos, a turn and a leap, and then they'll learn a jazz piece of choreo. And then we'll just pull them out probably 4 or 5 at a time, and they'll do the first one. And then we will go from there. Now, the kiddos who are in the 8 to 12 range, the 8 to 12 kids and the 13 and up kids, and that's the age that they will be in the fall or next year. They're learning, both of those groups are learning the same choreography. So if we have a kiddo in the 8 to 12 range that we feel like could be pushed to a higher group, then we may ask them to stay to audition with the older kids. And that would just be an opportunity for us to see them with that older group, because the juniors and the teens, and even sometimes the seniors, we kind of pull from a similar age group. So we want to make sure we're putting them next to the people that we feel like they'll succeed best with. So get them ready, get them there on time. Any kid who shows up late is frazzled and they don't perform their best. So get them there as early as you can. And we are really nice. We smile and they're going to be safe and happy and fun. It's fun.
We will give them a piece of paper as they leave the room. They'll come back to the black box as where you can pick them up. But we'll give them a piece of paper that tells them what to expect next, when casting will go out. Emails will go out regardless if they've been cast or not. Just so you know, you'll get either an acceptance or a rejection. And then when the parent meeting, like all that information, when the next parent meeting is, that you'll need to attend before we really get started, which is exciting.
We announce our deadline to announce casting is the 26th of May. So you will know by then. And then I think we give you about a week or 2 to sign contracts, because your first tuition payment will go out in the beginning of June. That's when contracts start. So
July
1st.
July to, yeah, it goes July to June.
July 1st.
yeah, pay in June though.
We pay, that's for the last year.
That's
Don't
this year.
fix every.
I just need chance.
I pay in June. Yes, you do.
It's from July all the way through June.
One of the J months.
She needs a break. She needs a summer break. All right. Did we cover everything? I think we have maybe 10 minutes before our Zoom is going to cut us off. So moms that are here, and parents that are on the Zoom, do we have any questions?
After the fire hose of information.
I know.
Is anyone still listening?
I know. I'm sorry. We try really hard to give you and to be so you're informed, but I know it is sometimes we're like, it is so much information. We know, but we try to give you all the information so you can make an educated decision. So,
do you guys have any questions?
Well, if they don't make a company, what are the options?
Good question.
So if they don't make a company, what are the options was the question. At that point, we would probably suggest certain classes. Sometimes we've been maybe a private in addition would be great. If we can work on specific things. Sometimes it's sometimes we get kids who come in, they're kind of confused what they really want. We've had kids who are like, I really love musical theater. So why are you auditioning for a dance company? Do you want to just be a better dancer for musical theater? Yes. Well, then guess what? Maybe company's not the route for you. Do you know what I mean? So sometimes it's just a conversation of what do you want and how can COPA help you in that?
But also, what we would do in that situation too, if they were close to a teen company, we would try to get them in those teen company open classes. Does that make sense? So then they could still, so we didn't talk about this yet. Oh my gosh, so much. But our ballet classes perform in the production. So if we've had some kiddos who aren't on company, who just, they do a trial class to make it into that level.
Yeah.
Oh, got her.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I know her name on the paper.
Perform.
Yeah, so then she got to perform in the production. Okay, and was she in 1-2 levels?
She did the tap.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
She did.
Ballet and tap.
Yeah.
Okay, so she did both concerts. So yeah, so that's a great option. I will say there, if a kiddo is close, if they're super close, but they might just need a little something, then that's when Susie, Amy, and I pull the parent and the kid in, and we do kind of a plan for the summer. And then we've had a re-audition, and then we've had some.
A lot can happen in,
success in that.
8 to 10 weeks.
But, yeah, so there's lots of options here. We have those open classes in the same track, dancing with company members to get them prepared. And we've had some kiddos do that, where they come in, either the commit was too much, like the whole company experience felt overwhelming. And so they opted into just taking technique classes, and then they got a little bit used to it, and then they auditioned again for company. But I will say, today we threw out everything at you, but really those optional experiences is like, there's a lot of them. So, what I love about our program is it really is doable. We really try to respect not taking over your lives with the program. But we also understand that it takes time to train a successful dancer. So that's why we've set the hourly allotment per company to where we feel like they will best be trained. So any other questions?
Summer.
Oh, summer.
Because we lose skills if we're not.
Yeah.
We know it's
summer-
required, but with vacations.
Here's my favorite thing about summer. Summer can be a plateau time for kiddos. It can be a decrease of strength and flexibility, or I've seen kiddos like jump full levels over the summer. So depending on where your student is, that's why at auditions, I always feel like, what's the potential of this dancer? Like where could we get over the summer with this dancer? That's where Susie and I are really passionate about that. Like we're looking for the potential of these kiddos, and we see them here. So, and we know where they can be at the end of the year. So that's really how we cast them. We see their potential. If we feel like there's a kiddo who just doesn't have, it's really based on strength. If someone's not cast in a company, it's usually like, we need them to get a little bit stronger, because at that point we throw them into this huge curriculum and they're not ready. They would have
Doing
to,
them a disservice.
they would have to fix some habits later. So, but I am a believer of summer is, regardless if you're cast or not, summer is where we want kids to go to summer
Push.
camp. Get those private lessons in if they need
I mean,
to.
you could always, there's more dance technique camps offered here at COPA, but we only require these two specific ones. If your dancer wanted more, they're absolutely welcome to. We would give you, anytime you add anything to your curriculum, whether it's in the summer or the school year, you get a discounted price as a,
Classes.
additional classes, you get a discounted price as a company member.
Yeah.
Which is almost like half-ish is what it is, half off.
Yeah.
Any other questions? I just answered one about pre-company. They're not competing. We're trying to make that, the transition from like a classes kid or, to a full company experience, more of a transition, not full blown, but they can absolutely compete as a soloist or a duo and trio.
And if you're new to the program, a suggestion is like, take things as they come, like a lot of these extra things. We don't want to overwhelm you at the beginning. It's okay to just do one extra thing. If you want to do like that tap class that competes or something.
Well, and for younger students, it's not even offered. So it is more simple.
Yeah.
If you want to, if you're younger and you want to add, you would add a solo, a duo, or a trio.
But
That's a great place to start.
But these kiddos, they're just the kiddos who even don't opt into anything. We have seen incredible growth this year.
It's not as overwhelming once you start looking at it. And as a parent, I appreciate the calendars like all year. You're able to look at those Saturdays and check and like, okay, then I know what my conflicts are.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
very
Conflicts, you will have a spot to write some conflicts in. Once you're cast, we send out something that you write in, okay, I have a family wedding at this point. That's when we sit down and see if things are doable. I've literally had a student in CDC. She had a dance company concert the same night as our concert. And so I just moved her dances like down and she ran in and changed. And I was like, but like, yeah, we obviously don't want to do that every year, but just communicate. We love communication. So even after this meeting, if you guys go home and think of more questions, just email us. We're happy to answer anything.
This question just came up. It says, what if there's a conflict with a tryout time? If there is, will you just email me at SUZIE, that's Susie at Utah COPA. Actually, I'll put it right here. Susie at Utah COPA. Sometimes my hands don't go as fast as my brain.
She just glitched.
And we will probably take that case by case. What will probably end up happening is I'll send, once I get the emails of of kiddos that need that, I will send a video of the material, and you'll be required to send a video back probably like 24 hours later, just so that we're not giving you loads of time to practice the material because no one else is at that time. I will say, if you can work it out, it is always best to be here in person, always. Because sometimes we're like, look at this video of this dancer. Do you think she could possibly, or he or she could possibly fit this place or this, you know what I mean? And it's always harder. It's always harder to do that, but we're happy to do that. So if that is the case, bring it on, sister. We will do it. But yeah, if you guys will just email me, and so I can compile those emails and know who's not coming.
And the 8 to 12-year-olds, again, and the 13 and up, they're doing the same choreo. So if you actually need your kiddo to go to a different time slot, you could do that, but you are running, you're dancing with a different age group.
Yeah. But that is an option. So
Yeah.
just let us know. You can email me and let me know.
But I'm gonna say this, COPA dance is awesome. This is a long.
Anybody leaving crying?
But as a mom, I mean, I've been able to work with Susie. I will say the owners are incredible people. This place it's a large ship guided by really good people who just, I mean, I can't tell you how many times we talk about the individual all the time. So if you trust us with your kiddos, we're going to take care of them. We love them. We believe so deeply in what Susie was saying, that our program is as good as our people, and
COPA creates good humans.
That's
not just good dancers.
and that is a huge focus of these honors. Like
I love my job. I told you at the beginning, I love my job.
to be good kids, and we have really important conversations about that all the time in dance class. And so come on down. We want you.
Any other questions? We have like maybe 2 minutes.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be
I just don't want to I don't want to get us in a conversation and also I'm like, oh. So if that is it, friends, thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Thank you guys for being here. Oh my gosh, I love you. We love ya. If you're not dancing with us, we hope you dance somewhere, but come give us a try. We would love to be a part of your dance journey. And I think that's it, friends. If you have any questions, don't worry. Well, I'll say when you have questions, because you will, just go to the website. I would ask that you absolutely can email me and ask questions, but I would ask that you first go to the website to see if you can answer any of those questions for yourself, because that's the goal, is that we've given you the information so that you can kind of look through it. It is a lot of information. So read patiently and let me know what we can do to help you out. We love you guys. Have a great night.
happy.
Say bye, everybody. Okay, so you guys have a good night.
I love it. I love it.